Imagine waking up this morning to find your Instagram account, your business, your community, your creative outlet completely wiped out with no warning, no explanation, and no way to appeal. Well, for most people. That's the reality for thousands of Instagram users right now, as Meta's new AI powered moderation system that we told you about last week sweeps across Instagram, banning accounts at an unprecedented rate. If you want to stay ahead of the latest AI industry news, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to useful AI hacks we launch multiple times a week. In just the past week, Instagram has seen a dramatic spike in account bans. Verified creators, small businesses, and everyday users are waking up this morning to find their accounts locked or deleted, often with no clear reason given. Many of these users have spent years building their presence, only to see it vanish overnight and their businesses perish. What's even more alarming? For most users, there's no way to contact Instagram support to resolve these unfair bans. Only those who pay for Instagram's verified service are able to reach a human for help, leaving the majority stranded and frustrated. So what's behind this wave of mass Instagram bans this morning? The answer lies in Meta's major transition to AI-driven content moderation across all of its platforms, including Instagram and Facebook, like we told you about last week. Let's break down the key aspects of Meta's move. First up, Meta's replacing human moderators. They're phasing out human content moderators and replacing them with AI systems for content governance at an astounding rate. They're doing it because of cost optimization, of course. The shift is part of Meta's broader cost-cutting efforts.
Meta is planning to replace humans with artificial intelligence to assess the risks of its products. That's according to internal Meta documents obtained by NPR and interviews with current and former Meta employees. And I'll note Meta is a financial sponsor of NPR. NPR's Bobby Allen broke the story. He joins us now. Hi there.
Hey, Juana.
So, Bobby, tell us, what exactly do those documents that you've obtained have to say?
Yeah, they describe a push inside Meta to automate more systems. But what's really interesting about them is what exactly is being automated. And it's a process for reviewing the privacy and risks of updates to Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook. For years, Meta has studied every change and update to its apps with, teams of hundreds of risk assessors looking at questions like, okay, could this violate someone's privacy? Could this cause harm to minors? Could it change, worsen the spread of misleading or toxic content? And documents obtained by my colleague Shannon Bond and I show that 90% of these assessments will soon be moved to a new system powered by AI instead of being debated by a group of human reviewers.
So, is this just another story about automation with AI replacing human jobs? Or, Bobby, is there something a bit different about what is happening inside Meta?
Yeah, AI is being ramped up across many parts of Meta, from how it moderates content to how its advertising business works. And sometimes that will mean a machine will be doing part or all of a task previously done by humans. But the reason why this particular change is so controversial is because it involves really sensitive and tricky determinations, right? Evaluating the societal impact of a Meta product. Now, product developers inside Meta are thrilled about this, since it means they could move faster and update Meta's products for its billions of users. But Shannon and I talked to former Meta executives who wonder at what cost. Some of these former Meta employees say this new system could mean more Meta products causing problems in the world are less likely to be prevented now.
Okay, and what has Meta had to say about your reporting?
Yeah, Meta told us in a statement that this new AI system is supposed to focus on low risk decisions and that really complex issues will still be handled by humans. But I will say the internal documents we reviewed show that Meta is considering automating risk reviews for areas including AI safety, youth risk, and a category that includes things like violent content and whether Meta's apps are amplifying the spread of falsehoods.
If we can, Bobby, I just want to zoom out for a moment. How do these changes fit into the larger shifts we've been tracking at Meta over the last year?
Yeah, this new system was first announced to employees not long after Meta ended its fact checking program and loosened its hate speech policies. These changes happened as CEO Mark Zuckerberg has been appealing to President Trump. Zuckerberg called Trump's election victory a cultural tipping point, and he has met several times with the president since he's been elected. What we're seeing more and more at Meta is a new emphasis on unmoderated, unrestrained speech across its platforms and, a push to try to update its apps more rapidly. And Current and former employees say it represents a dismantling of various guardrails that were enacted over the years that were stood up to try to curb the misuse and abuse of its platforms.
NPR's Bobby Allen, thank you so much.
Thanks, Juana.
They emphasize free speech, of course, and Meta claims this move will loosen content moderation and promote free speech, focusing primarily on truly illegal content rather than controversial or unpopular opinions. However, the community notes otherwise. Meta is also rolling out a community-driven moderation system similar to X's, or formerly known as Twitter's, community notes, allowing users to add context to posts. We'll see how that goes. Meta's leadership argues that AI brings several advantages to content moderation, including efficiency and speed, because AI can process massive amounts of content far faster than any human team. And AI is adaptable. Meta claims their new system uses few-shot learning to quickly adapt to new types of harmful content. In addition to this, scalability is an issue. With billions of posts daily, only AI can handle the sheer volume on platforms like Instagram and Facebook. But this shift is not without serious risks, and the current mass banning crisis that happened just this morning is exposing them all. There are major concerns, including bias and accuracy, as critics warn that AI lacks the nuance to understand context, leading to over-censorship or missing truly harmful content. Then there's ethical oversight. With fewer humans in the loop, how do we ensure AI systems aren't perpetuating bias or making unfair decisions? And transparency and accountability is also a major issue, as users often have no idea why their content was flagged or banned, or their accounts rather. And appealing this to an AI decision is nearly impossible for most people, even if they have that option, if they're paying. Impact on human jobs is also a huge issue, as thousands of human moderators are being replaced by machines, raising ethical and economic questions. And cultural and language nuances are often an issue that AI struggles with. AI just can't handle the subtleties of language and the cultural context, especially on a global platform like Instagram or Facebook. If you're finding this AI industry breakdown helpful, make sure you like this video and subscribe for more useful AI hacks, industry news updates. You'll never get blindsided by changes like this. Meta's move is part of a much larger trend in the tech industry. Other platforms are also exploring AI-driven moderation to handle content scale.
Fallout tonight after Meta's mega move. Fallout tonight after Meta's mega move to eliminate traditional fact-checking on the world's biggest social media platform.
We've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The fact-checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US.
It's a significant shift from the fact-checking put in place after Donald Trump's first win. Instead, Meta will now rely on community notes, in other words, user input, similar to what Elon Musk's X platform does, as part of a broader move to loosen up how Meta moderates content. The company will also lift restrictions on hot-button topics like gender identity and immigration, allow more politics into people's feeds, and move its trust and safety team from liberal California to ruby red Texas, all just days before President-elect Trump retakes the White House.
The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech.
It's a political evolution for Meta, 4 years after Facebook suspended Mr. Trump's account in the wake of January 6th, and just months after the president-elect accused Zuckerberg of plotting against him in 2020, calling for life in prison if Zuckerberg did it again. But after Mr. Trump's win, Zuckerberg traveled to Mar-a-Lago. His company donated $1 million to the Trump Inaugural Fund, and now close Trump ally and UFC head Dana White is joining Meta's board.
Meta. Facebook. I think they've come a long way.
Do you think he's directly responding to the threats that you have made to him in the past?
Some critics concerned.
Fact-checking is not censorship.
What do you see as the Trump factor, if you will, here?
This is very obviously a political decision.
Over the next 4 years, the Trump administration will set key policy on critical tech topics like antitrust and AI. And as Meta has pushed into the world of artificial intelligence, new tonight, NBC News has found user-generated AI chatbots that seemingly violated Meta's policies against creating characters based on religious or real-life figures. An NBC News review found some 24 chatbots ranging from Hitler and Jesus Christ to Taylor Swift and Captain Jack Sparrow. Meta took down those individual accounts after our team reached out, and in a statement says they are continuously improving their detection measures.
Meta's move is part of a much larger trend in the tech industry. Other platforms are also exploring AI-driven moderation to handle scale and cost. But as automation increases, so does regulatory scrutiny. Lawmakers and watchdog groups are demanding more transparency and fairness, especially as users and businesses suffer from unexplained bans like the ones that happened just this morning. Striking the right balance between scale, fairness, and sensitivity will be crucial for Meta and other tech giants as they automate digital oversight. So what can you do if you're affected by these unfair Instagram bans? For now, unless you're a paid verified user, unfortunately, the options are limited. Many are turning to community forums and even local news outlets to share their stories and demand change. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw that story tonight on the local news. Stay informed, protect your content, and consider backing up your most important posts and contacts. These days, it's necessary to have a newsletter where you can actually have your own email contacts in case there's platform issues like this. Your business won't suffer anymore. You'll be able to contact your users and let them know of the change and where they can then see your new content. Most importantly, you need to keep updated with the latest AI developments by subscribing to Useful AI Hacks. We launch AI news industry updates multiple times a week. The rise of AI and content moderation is transforming the digital world, but not always for the better. Will Meta's gamble pay off, or will users continue to suffer from the flaws of automated moderation? If you want to stay updated on the latest AI industry news, like this video and subscribe to Useful AI Hacks. We bring you the stories that matter multiple times a week. Don't miss out. Hit that bell icon so you get notified when our next video launches. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.